Hello, I'm Dr. Margaret, and this time I'd like to talk to you about running your own business. There's a lot of people who are talking about, I'll teach you how to make a fortune if you will come on and do my free webinar, and I'll teach you this and that. And then you find out that they're now saying, well, okay, you've learned these 3-4 points on how to help yourself, but now you need to know more, and more means more expense and more workshops, and then that means more attendance and so on, until eventually you start to find you're paying thousands of dollars out for a program which would work if you have the diligence and the passion and desire to really put the effort and the energy and the hours into doing what these people tell you to do. I can tell you, I've had lots of people calling me, trying to call me into their situations, and I'm certainly not doing it. Why am I not doing it? Because I don't want to pay a lot of money into the pockets of someone who I'm going to make really rich by being a client of theirs, and at the end of the day not have the time nor the space within my consciousness to be able to use whatever extras they offer, because my life is so busy with helping and teaching other people. So that's my rationale. But the truth is behind that if I really wanted to do what they wanted me to do, I would have to stop the way I'm working, and I would have to refresh my mind and say to myself, I'm going to do an entirely different kind of business. I'm going to transform myself into becoming whatever it is that they advise me to be and do. And at the end of it, there's no guarantee that whatever I'm doing is going to be highly successful. Then we've got this whole thing about you have to pay someone who's going to do all your promotions and marketing for you. So there's another expense. And then we've got people who spend a lot of time doing the social networking. Then we've got people who have to build all the little messages you want to send out to people, and so on, until the next thing you know, you've spent thousands of dollars and you're still waiting to see if you've got any clients. Well, I've learned over the years that when someone needs something, the master appears, or vice versa. When the master needs a student, the student appears. In the same way, when we think about how we want to be helped, when you cry out for help, when you want help, that person who is meant to help you will turn up. I'd like to think I'm one of those people that I'll be able to help you. And so I'm here today to say these are the many things that I can do to help you, whether you're nearby and can come to a personal visit, or whether you are miles away around the earth. The only request I have is that you speak English and that I can speak to you in that language. So what would I do? The first thing I would do is I want to hear your story, your intake, why you are stuck. I want to know what you've been doing. I don't want to know it in so much minute detail, just a general thing. I want to know how you get along with your parents or your siblings. I want to know how you got along with your grandma and your grandpa on either side. These are the people that influenced you when you were a child. And that is what we call an intake time. And that can be done on Skype or on the telephone or by email. You can send me a recorded thing and I'll listen to it. And we call that an intake, and that is free to you. Because once I have that information, then I can start to work with you on your current issues. So the next step would be to write to me your current issues. You can do all this in one connection with me, actually. For example, I had a lady who said to me, I can't seem to be successful in business. Every business I've ever done, it's failed. And I want my husband to give me more money so I can start a new business, and that person is not helping. What do I do? I should be getting the support I need. Well, we had to talk about her ideas from back in her childhood from her grandma that she was supposed to stay home while Grandpa did whatever he could to bring home the bacon, as it were, bring home the money, in other words. And, of course, her mother, born to that grandma, had the same idea and taught her that she expected Prince Charming to turn up, ride off into the sunset, and give her everything she wanted. And Prince Charming turned out to be regular Joe, who was just the normal, ordinary type of guy who'd do his damnedest to give her the best he could, and did. But she had no business acumen. None of her ancestors, her grandma, mother, or herself, knew how to actually do the things that she needed to do for business. So we had a long talk about that. Gave her a lot of insights into what can be done, and more importantly, the encouragement, the passion and desire was stimulated in her to want to go out and learn these things, not as they were when her parents were children, but as they are today. And that meant she did have to take a few technical classes in the local college. And that did help her to make a decision that she eventually wanted to be a nurse, and she's now in nursing school. She found herself, and she's happy, and she's doing the things that she wants to do. That may change in her future, but for now, her passion, her desire to be a nurse and help those who are suffering has awakened in her. She would tell you, if you interviewed her, that 2 years ago she had no idea that she could do this. Here's another case. A lady came to me and she said, I don't know, I have no skills, I have no talents, I feel useless. My husband does take care of me and I have pretty well everything I want, but I'm bored out of my mind. I can't do anything. And I said, can you sing? And she said, not really, a little bit in the bath. I said to her, then go and get singing lessons. She said, well, the teacher will tell me I'm no good. I said, that's not what will happen. The teacher will tell you how to sing. So she went. She's in a choral group now. From there she came back and she said, well, that's occupying a lot of my time, but I feel like I should be doing something more helpful. She was a retiree. I said to her, well, what kind of thing do you think you'd like to do? So she said, well, I've always liked reading. So I said, you read lots of books? She said, oh, yes. So I said, well, why don't you read aloud at the library to the children? Wow, she said, I never thought of that. So she went down to the library, she volunteered, and now she does after school reading storybooks to kids, and she loves it. She feels like she's fulfilled herself, especially since she hasn't got any grandchildren. And here's another case. Another lady who was working in an office and she was bored out of her mind, didn't like the job, and she came to me for a counsel reading, and I told her she was an artist and that she should go back to an art school. This is years ago, by the way. And as a result of going back to the university and studying art, she poured herself into theatre, and from theatre into set design, and went on to be quite a successful set designer in a lot of very top shows at that time. Of course, today she's now happily married with lots of kids and doing all sorts of things, and her life has changed again. You see, nothing stays the same. We have to start. We have to get involved in something. We have to do it for whatever reasons we want to do it, but we must do it with passion. We must do it with desire. We must do it with hopes and dreams. Yes, you're entitled to dreams. When I started doing my crystal acupuncture, my focus was to stop my Parkinson's disease. I was shaking like this, and my heads were shaking, and my hands were shaking. And the doctor told me, "You've got PD, as they call it now." I said, "How can I possibly have that? I'm only 37. He said, "Well, sometimes we get a young case." My dad had it. He just started it. He's 25 years older than me. So when I learned what I was going to do with my crystals through Master Chang, my spirit guide, I started to teach myself how to stop my meridians that carry the nervous system into my brain to stop the shakes. Took 3 weeks. I was shake free. But no, it didn't take 3 weeks to make my brain healthy. It took a lifetime. In fact, I was working on my brain from 37 until about 55, where I was teaching myself to eliminate all the old, excuse my language, but I'm going to say it, bullshit that I'd absorbed from my ancestors, from my parents, from my school teachers, from so many people that walked into my life and said, "Margaret, you can't do that. You're not clever enough. Margaret, nobody will buy your book. Margaret, this is a waste of time," and so on and so forth. And today, yes, I'm a successful author with 11 books and more to come. And yes, I'm a successful teacher around the world, traveling, lecturing, and teaching. I get invited to come and teach in different countries. They work out how much they can pay me, my airfare and accommodation, and the price to the students. Every time it's separate because different countries have different things. But off I'll go, and I'll see the country, and I'll share my times with them, and I'll teach them what I know. Crystal acupuncture is just one of the many things that I was taught by Master Chang. If you look at my website, www.sumariacenter.com, you'll see I have 6 crystal therapies. You'll also see I have 2 books. The book of crystal acupuncture and pterogram therapy diagrams will cover absolutely every type of illness and disease. Yes, even cancer, Alzheimer's, every one of them, Crohn's, it's all there. You just have to apply the symptoms and then look for the pages where it shows you which stones to use, which points to use, and gives you the techniques. And to cover the state of your mind, if you haven't got passion and desire and inspiration and all these things you need to get, then read the book Breakthrough Therapies, Crystal Acupuncture and Pterogram Therapy, because that's the book that I wrote following me sorting my Parkinson's disease out. And the good news is I had a scan this year, and according to the results, all those little black scurry tissue things are gone. I'm free and clear, and I don't think the way I used to think. How do I think? I know that over my life, every time I've needed, and believe you me, there's times I've needed, for example, 4 children to feed, no money, no food in the larder, and I just sit down and say to my children, "Be patient, Mummy will find something." And I'd ask spirit guides, "Please bring me a reading." And within half an hour there would be a phone call, and a reading would come, and someone would pay me, and then I'd shoot down to the shops, buy tonight's lunch, dinner for tomorrow, and give them food they needed. Yes, it's been that close to the border without my life, and my spirit guides in telling me what to do, and me listening. Maybe I would have ended up in the gutter drinking and gambling or something, though I never had a yen for it. And I can understand that people do want to do that. And I've had those kinds of people in my own family. So I do know what it's like living with someone who has behavioral issues. And I've dealt with many drug addicts and many different situations. So we can always reach inside and find the passion and the desire that people need to get, to stimulate them. And one of the most important things we can use is a lot of hypnosis too. Did you know that your brain goes in and out of hypnosis at least 24 to 46 times a day? Like driving down the road, you drift off thinking about something you have to do. You're visualizing in your head where you would do and be with that issue. and you're not seeing the car ahead. Yet, as soon as the car brakes, you brake. You see, your brain is able to be in many places at once, consciously, subconsciously, and deep subconsciously. Your deep subconscious is your spirit self, and your spirit self will give you that feeling that something is right to do. Then develop it. Have that passion. Go out. Ask someone. Tell me, where can I learn this? I want to study. I want to go back to school. Where can I get a grant? Where can I get some free education? The web is full of it. YouTube is full of free information. In fact, if you go to my website on Web Talk Radio, you can actually find Journey into an Unknown World. There are approximately 85 shows, half an hour each, with me teaching. I'm not interviewing anyone. The only pitch I'm going to give you is a book I've written about the subject I'm talking about. My focus has always been to help people. I help people around the world, and I want to help you. Whether you've got tools and toys and you're well off, I don't care. If you're depressed, if you're miserable, if you've got an illness and a disease, I'll help you. And of course, you'll pay a fee. But if you're someone who hasn't got anything, then I'm also a minister. And under the ministry, whatever you say to me is private. It doesn't go beyond me. And whatever we talk about is private. So either way, as doctor or reverend, you're safe with me. And we sort out whatever your issue is. And if your issue is to do with relationships, then if there's need and the time comes, with your permission, you will approach and ask that person if they want to work with me too. We don't cross over. We don't mix. We don't say he said, she said. We only deal with the person's personal issues so that they can understand what's coming down. And when we do that, then it's up to the couple to share their recordings. Yes, everything that we do is recorded and sent to you so that you can listen over and over again. Yes, the brain needs to hear things 21 times for it to become a habit. So if you have a habit that's a negative one and you want to break it, you need help. I'm here for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call me, or email me, Dr. Margaret, rvc@gmail.com. You can go to my radio show and listen to all those and get a lot of help without even talking to me, if that's what you want to do. But ultimately, I'm sure you'll come back with some questions. So you can still write to me if you've listened to a show, and I love to have feedback, and I love to be asked questions about subjects that I haven't talked about yet, because that gives me new information about what other shows to do. On my last video, I mentioned anger. On this one, I'm mentioning strength, power, independence, to make your choices, to do whatever it is you can find the passion and desire to do. So the key word here is passion. Think about it. Are you passionate at all? There are people who say, no, I'm not. But you are. You're passionate about whatever's gone wrong. You're passionate about having nothing to do. It's a beginning. And we start there. And we lead you through to find all your talents and skills. And some of those talents and skills are going to come from your spirit self. Yes, they're encoded within you. Your brain has the memory of all things that you've done in different lives, even if you don't believe in past lives, even if you're an atheist, even if you're an agnostic, no matter what you are. The truth about you can be revealed to you. What you believe can be transformed not by me, but by yourself. So if you'd like to get more passion, more zeal, more zest, more enthusiasm about the future, then let's start with now. Contact me and we'll see what we can do step by step for you personally. We'll do an intake and find out where you're at, where you've been, what you believe, and then from there we'll look and advise you as to what the best steps we can take for you to get you back on your feet, to get you out there in the world being a successful person. Just write to me or call me. My website is sumariscenter.com. That's spelled SUMARISCENTER.com. I also have an education which has psychic development on it, sumariseducationcenter.com. So until I hear from you, be well, enjoy all of my shows, and let me help you.